Okay, we'll welcome Dr. Obaseki for the first session. Let's give you a welcome for the life of this gentleman that he's going to be speaking to us. So, Dr. Obaseki is a medical doctor from Ilorin. He's a man of God, as we all know. Yeah, he's the pastor of my pastor. And a man under authority. He's a man of one wife.
Yes.
Thank God for that. Let's celebrate the Lord in his life. I'll hand the mic to him, so please let's be blessed.
Thank you very much, Lars. Thank you very much, Pastor. Thanks for this privilege and honor to be here, sir. And as my brother said, my name is Ayodiji. Some people know me as Ayo, some people know me as Digi, some people know me as Paseki. Anyone you choose, it's the same. So, this presentation, I must confess, because it's a, where you have a mixture of males and females, so it becomes a bit like, what am I going to focus on? So, I try my best.
Close.
It's more like an engagement. I want us to talk to one another. So, I came up with a few topics, but the main issue that I want us to focus on is on our lifestyle. So we'll get to that point during the presentation. Initially, it may appear as if I'm talking about something, but the crux of the matter is on lifestyle. Please let's start. Okay, let's do this. So, if you are given an option to choose, which one do you go for, A or B?
B. We're Africans.
Everyone for A? Say A. For B, say B. Let's go. I'll explain later. Yeah, if you have to choose A or B, which one do you go for?
B.
What's the
These are
difference?
urine samples.
B.
That's one. Let's like. I have a reason for doing that, and I'll explain later. So I'm talking from a deep perspective, so I'm not talking from like people in the hospital, like the doctors and everything. So I'm talking from as a GP. You come to see your GP and you complain. So tiredness and fatigue, it's one of those things that a lot of people come to present with. You hear people say, doctor, I just feel tired, I feel worn out. It's been going on for several months. I didn't quite understand what's happening. I wake up in the morning, I don't have the urge or the willingness to go out of the house. So it's quite common in a lot of people, both males and females. Some people describe it as lack of energy, tiredness, lack of that feeling weak or too tired to participate in work, family. And for some reasons, if patients present like that, you have to understand that something is going on. Some people may be saying the truth, some people may not be saying the truth, but as a GP, you have to ask when everybody is saying the truth. And some instances, you have to give, sick notes for patients that look, they can't cope, they're just too tired, to give them sick notes. Okay, take 1 week off, rest, do the necessary bits and pieces, then we see them later. Then please, next slide. So, quite a lot of causes. The causes are numerous, a lot. A lot of people, from psychological cause, was pregnancy, breastfeeding. These are things that make a lot of women exhausted and tired. Then imbalance in routine of rest or sleep, lack of exercise, diet, shift work. Some of us we do shift work, and I can tell the impact it has on us. So that's also one of the causes. Then I specifically put night shift workers, so those of us that do shifts, nurses, hospitals, care jobs. Our shift pattern is crazy, and that can impact our well-being. physical causes, anemia, diabetes, viral infections, sleep disorders, malignancies. So for the anemia, common things like iron deficiency anemia, folic acid deficiency, vitamin B12 deficiencies. So these are some of the things that we screen for, especially when patients say that that, because a lot of people without knowing they have low iron levels. If you are a vegetarian, the chances that you have low vitamin B12 level is very high, because vitamin B12 is from animal sources. So if you're not eating any animal-based products, you need to check your vitamin B12 level. And now we're in that time of the year, or we're getting to that time, winter, vitamin D is very important. I remember when I came to the UK, my first job was in summer, we're going to go out. I said, look, I'm Nigerian, I'm coming from what we have. So all the fun I need is I'm very connected. But funny enough, recently, I went to vitamin D, I started taking my vitamin D again, and I noticed that my energy level increased. So it's possible that there's been a depletion in my vitamin D level. And of course, we're in that part of the world where the sunshine is very, very, very scarce and limited. So we have to pay attention to that. Then medications, there are quite a lot of medications that we got too tired. So if you're on antidepressants, antihypertensive, beta blockers, so on and so forth. Then those of us that take things like Codamol or Diet
because
one of the side effects
different
is
perception.
drowsiness, tiredness. So let's bear that in mind. Then psychological causes, depression, anxiety, stress, bereavement. Next slide, please. So I'll explain where I'm going with all this. So it's quite a common, condition. About 5 to 10% of primary care attendees, they present with tiredness, and about 50% of people with chronic diseases also report tiredness. In Ireland, there was a case study that was done, and they found that about 62% of patients attending with fatigue were females. So it's quite common in females as well. Okay, next slide. Several risk factors could be due to the fact that lack of activity, the fact that you're not being active. That in itself is a contributing factor to tiredness and fatigue. Higher body mass index, we don't use weight anymore, we use BMI. So if your weight is above BMI of 25, you need to start doing something. Although, some people may argue that if you are muscular, that can give a false impression. But it's important that we watch our weight. Next slide. So, God.
Sorry, can I ask a question in between?
Yes,
Okay, so still on the BMI,
yes.
I have heard that in some instances, like, it's kind of issue. I think the BMI is slightly different from the way they are. And when the BMI was considered, the way they are built, the locations, and the race, we are different. I believe when the PMI was built on their own weight, their own structure or body form rather than ours. So because over time when I started off with BMI, and then later on I thought, this BMI is getting too much for me. So it was someone that I heard this. So really, just to say that, and if you have anything to add towards that, or if you can confirm it to some extent.
What you said is absolutely correct. A lot of, we come from a background where research is not, maybe now, but we need to do research. But those days, there's nothing like research. Even recently, I saw a clip, this EGFR. So EGFR, when you do what we call renal function test, so there's a particular value there, we call it EGFR. It's a measure of how effective your kidney filters things.
Okay.
So the normal is it should be above 60. So anything less than 60 is considered, we need to look into it. But that value was created based on white Caucasians. So they didn't put us into consideration. And as a result of that, a lot of blacks have been underdiagnosed. They've missed a lot of chances of getting renal kidney transplants. They've missed a lot of chances of getting dialysis, because when that value comes, it gives a false result. So these are some of the things that have made Okay, sir.
Since you've actually touched on that subject, could it also be the fact of GP that we don't actually put ourselves forward for some of these tests to be carried out on? So, my wife recently was saying that, in fact, there was a letter back in the days, I think about a couple of years ago, that
Is the mic working?
that everyone living in Scotland, everyone living in, it's not. Thank you. That everyone living in Scotland should sign up for being a donor. God forbid if there was an accident. But there is this scare amongst us that God forbid one finds himself in a car accident and they could still save your life. But because they know of someone that requires a kidney that is the same type as yours, they will just let you quietly ease out so that they can harvest the organ they require. That is one. And the second one is we don't tend to put ourselves forward. And that is why at times even common things like trousers, if you buy trousers, most of our African men, we have the tie. But when we wear their trousers, the whole thing is tight. So simple things like that. So I don't know if it's a way of encouraging us from that side of the world to, come up or come out. I've signed up to be a donor, and I trust God that when it's right for me to go, I will go. Someone will benefit of it. Recently, my wife was saying that there's a research that should we put ourselves forward. I said, let me think about it. Because research, but the donor type is fine. Praise the Lord.
Thank you very much.
Hello, man.
What you said, I think most of these things are as a result of, I think, our environment, our culture, and our belief system. And during our men's program, we, like for example, mental health, you still find people say that when you see like depressed, you're like, looking the word depression, that kind of thing. And then somebody actually sorry, pardon my it's like acting you depressed, that kind of thing. But it's kind of prevents people from speaking out, expressing themselves. And funny enough, a lot of men are going through mental health problems, but they are not open enough because of the taboo, because I'm a man, I can handle this stuff. It shouldn't be. So our culture plays a significant role in most of these things. And I mean, those of us that came here a few years ago, you realize that the way they think, yes, it's not 100%. They have their good sides and the other side. But you realize that from onset, from the beginning, they've been programmed that look, you have to be in quote generous, you have to donate blood. Yeah. I mean, this guy that I'm sure we must have heard about anti-D, Rogan. Okay. Some people have certain blood groups. Those with the negative ones are quite rare. And those things. So we over time we realize that for certain women that are rhesus negative, their first pregnancy, no issue. But subsequent pregnancy, they keep having miscarriages. And that's because the baby, for some reason, I think from the dad, has a positive blood group. And as a negative blood group individual, your body sees anything positive as an enemy. So the body develops antibodies attack. So now there was a man that donated, that's why research is good. Like I said, it's good if you want to donate your organs, you do that. So there was a man for some reason, I think it was a blood donor. They now found out your blood group is rare, and that is the cure to that condition. Wow. So that man, I think he passed away a few years ago. So he has been donating blood, and his blood has been used all over the world to cure that condition. So that's why we tell now blood group is higher. So if your blood group is negative, after your first delivery, they start giving you Rogan anti-D. And that treatment came from that man. So I think it's our mindset. The more you can do something. I don't there. It's our mindset, our culture. So you will be fine. There's another one. There's a cell they call, I think they call it ENLA cells. It's used in the lab for research. So if they're trying to find maybe cure to cancer or cure to anything. So these cells, for some reasons, have the ability to regenerate themselves. This cell was found in a black woman in the United States. Yes, many years ago. There's a movie about it, but Oprah Winfrey was the one that acted in that movie. It's called ENLA cell. So that cell is what is being used in all the laboratories for cancer research. Because for some reason, that lady, her cells are able to regenerate. For some reason.
So she wasn't aging?
No, she aged. She's there, but the cells can survive outside the host.
So it will regenerate outside the home.
Outside the host. So that's why they're able to use it for research.
Yeah.
To test so many things. So, yeah, and interestingly, some of these things are found incidentally, and that's why when you're in the country where we do research, these are the benefits. So I think for us, it's our mindset, our where we come from. Unfortunately, we came here where we are already formed.
So,
to form our mindset is very difficult. So I will encourage us. My outlook is just have an open mind. We are benefiting for the system. We can also be a blessing to the system, irrespective of the negative. So we have a long time to go. So why a lot of people say they are better for so many reasons. So we are all adults. So I know sometimes when it's time for action, the spouse will say, I'm tired.
okay.
So not having action can be a cause of tiredness. So please bear that in mind.
Let's elaborate now.
So action is a form of exercise. You burn calories. That's why if you are not fit, don't try it. If you burn a lot of calories, it's a form of exercise. So we encourage people. God has done so many things that He has given us free of charge and we don't even know. Those two urine samples, they are kind of similar. At the end of the, I think at one point you will see some urine samples, different shapes. The fact that we are not drinking adequate water is one. The kidney begin to fail. The kidney will begin to struggle. A lot of people develop headaches. I've seen people have this headache, in fact, and I see a lot of people. So have this headache. How many? If you drink enough water, it's not like enough water. Okay. How many liters of water do you drink? That's when they begin to I'll be honest. The fact that you're not drinking up to 2 liters of water a day can impact your well-being. When we do urine, renal function test, and we notice a drop in EGFR, the first question is, are you drinking enough water? Are you drinking enough water? And we said, okay, go, drink up to 2 liters of water, cut down certain things, come back in a week's time. And when we come back, you see that. And a lot of people, because they've not been drinking enough water, they've been diagnosed with what we call chronic kidney disease. And if care is not taken, that continues and they end up having end-stage renal failure. Just because they cannot drink the water. Water is the cheapest, although you pay council tax, but it's free. You don't need to go to chemist to buy water, except you want to buy the fancy ones.
Yeah, but Pastor, sorry.
Yes, sir.
If you take tea regularly, not maybe black tea or maybe a bag, and you keep adding water, just some of us can just sit down and drink water. have something, probably tea, one
Yes.
tea bag.
Yeah.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
One tea bag, black tea, but you can take it like almost all day. What
Yeah.
you just want to see there is
Is the color.
yes.
Yeah, so tea is not bad, but when I'm seeing patients, I think I'm left to medicine. I said, look, I understand that you're drinking tea, you're drinking coffee. Just cut them down. Go with 1.5 liters must be water.
Wow.
1.5 mean. Then look, if you want to see changes, if you want to see improvement, stick to water. 1.5. You can now add your tea, lemon tea, green tea, purple tea, orange tea. You can now add those other ones. So those ones can make up the maybe 500 ml. Coffee has been the bane of so many people. I saw a young guy, he came, I'm having palpitation, my heart is racing, 20-something years old, so did ECG, he's fine. He did his ECG somewhere else, and the ECG was, so he's, I want to get the ECG, I want to repeat it again. I said, no, I want to repeat it now. So I asked him, do you drink coffee? Yes. How many? And also his blood pressure was also high. How many cups of coffee do you drink a day? I think about 5, 6. I said, you know what? Stop. Stop it. I mean, that's how I did not stop. Call me in 2 weeks time. Take the water and then repeat. He came back 2 weeks time. His blood pressure has gone down. Heart rate is normal. He did ECG normal. I said, you don't need any medication. So imagine that kind of person going somewhere, palpitations, and they don't answer this simple question. They just give medication and everything.
Just when you talked of coffee there, my mind was I'm a coffee lover, sir.
Yes.
I could have 3-4 cups a day. That was back then.
You okay back there?
So what I then did was hold on. I cut it back to 2, and then I cut it back to the calf. So what I'm doing now is I take just 1 a day. And that's it. For some reason, tea just doesn't taste right on my tongue. Coffee just goes well. Name it.
So those names sound powerful. The Latinos.
Question and answer to the last.
Yes, please drink coffee, don't get me wrong.
Question and answer to the last.
Most, let me not say most, but I've
Like I
seen
send WhatsApp.
a number of patients that are Christians. And I said, look, we don't,
Okay.
unfortunately, we don't practice what we preach. We have faith, but the works are not there. And I think most times, when we are thinking about the works, when we are thinking about laying the dead, that's not the works I'm talking about. They are the simple, daily, it can be moving the slide. So I'm covering quite a lot of things. So they are the simple, daily acts, like drinking water, sleeping for 7 hours a day. My wife knows, if I don't sleep enough, I get cranky, as in, they know me down, I don't do my sleep. Sleeping, exercise. I know I'm not faithful in that one, but it's important. You can't rule it out. And the interesting thing about this lifestyle things, they come across several disease conditions. Actually, my plan is to talk about diabetes. It's something that we're all familiar with. It's a condition we all know. What is diabetes? High blood sugar. As simple as that. I saw 2 patients. One of them, well known to me. It's not that I judge member, but I go to his place, he helps me with 1 or 2 things. I know him very well. He's a well-known guy to me. The reason why all those pictures, Michael B. Jordan and the fat guy, Michael B. Jordan, he looks healthy. Have you?
Yes.
This guy, he's saying, Bruno, looks healthy. The guy came, and he presented with, what did he come with? I think, is it urine infection or something? I'm just did this urine. Wow. The guy didn't know that was diabetes. He did his blood glucose. In fact, his HbA1c was 136. Crazy. Young guy, 43-year-old, looks healthy. You see him say, I know this one, nothing can happen with this one. But unlike what the guy did, so it was, you can't have that high blood sugar. So he was placed on medications. But his cholesterol level was 7.5, if I remember. So that was in April. So this guy went radical. He cut down carbohydrates. As in, so I this is the memory I did. I saw him the other day, he was eating cucumber. He was eating. He said, doctor, I cannot, I have to do something. That was eating meat, eating cucumber. His shop is not this agave bread. You know that place. So the guy had his shop around there. He said, that bread is what has given me. The guy stopped. And 5 months later, his HbA1c from 136 dropped to 57. His cholesterol from 7.5 dropped to 5.7. What am I saying? We hold the key if we want to reverse some of these conditions. Yes, we place him on medication because at that level we kind of say, no, you have to place him on medication. Well, I was really impressed by the actions that he took. So all these things are very important. So that's my diabetes. So next one, we know what that. So once, yeah, I think it was. So go back. Yeah. So yeah, no, yeah, this one. So early 40s came like he had reflux symptoms as well. See, and then you wouldn't suspect that this guy something to be wrong with this guy. You wouldn't. You know what is you say Nigeria is another guy. This bread won't finish here. This bread, I don't chop am again. And we stopped. And so the second one, a new late man in the same 50s, presented to the practice with symptoms of urinary infection. So I'm just my time. My time is fast spent. Sorry. So it came with urine sample as well. Urinary infection, normally you have to test urine. So we did it. You look on his face, he never had symptoms of diabetes. 3-4 pressure of sugar. So what this guy did, I'm also impressed. Was that he was so surprised. I don't want to say dogs. Why? I know family issue. 3 months later, he came back cured.
Wow.
He said, doctor, I have to walk my weight. I changed my diet. How am I saying this? These things are the things that we see. And if we are ready to take the necessary steps, things will change. So let's move. Don't worry about the key facts, your family history. So if anyone has a family history of diabetes, please, you have to go on the lookout. Don't joke because if both parents have diabetes, the chances of the person getting diabetes are 5%. So we can't do that. And we from Africa, the risk is very high. So shouldn't joke with that.
Why is it cancer? Because I've heard this is for one.
So number one, our diet. Yes, there's a genetic predisposition, but our diet, our lifestyle does not, it kind of speaks against us. But I think things are getting better in the sense that, like maybe now people are getting more aware, people are getting more educated. But our diet is not good. Let's be realistic. We have a lot of oil, unsaturated oil that we use to fry stuff. So it's not just weight. And we don't drink enough water, a lot of Coca-Cola, a lot of fizzy drinks, a lot of alcohol. So it's not let's keep moving. So yeah. And don't worry about the video, let's go. So menopause. So when I think that's that our women are less than 40, so this talk is not necessary. But I'll just 2 minutes. So menopause is very necessary. So
It's very necessary.
a lot of these are one of the conditions that we see in the practice. So what is menopause? In simple terms, menopause is when the lady stops seeing her period for 12 months consecutively. So cessation of the period of the menses. That's what menopause is. Now, ideally it should occur, average age is 51 in the UK, 50-51, but some people can have menopause. So if menopause occurs before 40, there's a condition that you have to be taken off. We call it primary ovarian failure or insufficiency. So the ovaries are the organs that produce estrogen. So if estrogen is lacking at that age, something must have happened. Number one. Could it be that the person went for surgery and the ovaries were mistakenly removed? Could it be that the person had ovarian cancer and they had to remove the ovaries? Could it be that the person had a hysterectomy that they had to remove? So something must have caused that. Then, if it happens from 45 upwards, yes, early menopause. There's something we call perimenopause as well. So perimenopause also takes place from 45 to 50. So that period, the lady say, my periods are not regular. Maybe you see your periods every month, but you're not seeing it every 2 months. Then it increases to every 3 months, every 4 months. So in addition to the fact that the ladies are not seeing their periods, they have symptoms. Next slide, please. So we call them vasomotor symptoms. That's one of them. So vasomotor are other symptoms like hot flushes, night sweats, palpitations. Some people say they feel anxious. Some ladies, for some reason, their mood is neither they're irritated, they're cranky, they're happy, they smile at you, they make you rough right the other day, they give you the next day, they give you good one day, the other day they give you suya. They just keep changing. So that's like it. So yes, so that period is a very sensitive period. I think for the men, it should be very understanding and supportive. It's not like maybe they want to, act that. It's just the hormones, the estrogen level is fluctuating. Okay, so when patients present that way, you of course as a GP you have to kind of listen. And quite a lot when they've done research, they know what they want. They just want like. Maybe the assurance and just want to have a chat to let them know which way to go. So this is just a picture of how the hormones are released and negative feedback. Next slide. So these are some of the symptoms. Next slide. So, of course, the treatment is either lifestyle or hormonal. A lot of people cannot tolerate the hormonal side of things. So, because of side effects from previous use, maybe they use contraceptive impact and that affected it. So we focus on lifestyle. While some people, because they cannot go on with the lifestyle, they opt for the hormonal treatment. So my focus today is on the hormones. The hormones, there are different schools of thought. Some people are in support, some people are against it. But I would say I've seen a lot of women that take up the hormones and they notice significant changes in their lifestyle. So I think it's something we need to start thinking about at some point. My time is almost up, or pretty much off.
No, I mean, we extend
So I've talked about the hot flushes, cognitive impairment, mood changes, then genital symptoms. So as a man, like I said, I have a very understanding at this stage. If you want to tell me that today is clothing shop, just understand. Yeah. If she says she wants to close shop for the next 1 week, understand. Because during that period, your changes occur in their private parts. The vaginal, the kind of everything begins to shrink, as it were. Some of them experience dryness. So it's a very difficult time for ladies. And quite a lot of ladies are falling into depression during that time because they can't cope with the changes that are taking place. They find themselves not attractive anymore. So and it impacts significantly. So and some of them, even during that period, during sex, they experience pain because of the dryness. So it's not a comfortable period for most women. Next slide. The sleep because in some cases, it can last for up to 10 years without treatment. Yes, it can last 7 to 10 years. So
are we going on holiday for 10 years?
No. So that's why I said we have treatment. The treatment is basically, like I said, during menopause, what happens is estrogen.
Or is it not a natural process?
It is a natural process.
Why do you treat it?
Okay, the reason why we treat, like I said, the treatments are in 2 forms. We have lifestyle as non-hormonal and we have hormonal. What happens in menopause? Yes, the women, the way God designed it, the ovaries, after a while, they stop producing eggs. Okay, everything gradually fades away. And as a result, estrogen levels goes down. The main culprit is estrogen. And once estrogen goes down, then these symptoms kick in. If estrogen is lacking, what do you need to do? You replace. That is what HRT does. The hormone replacement therapy. They're just replacing what is lacking or what is deficient. That is the truth. That's just what we are doing.
No side effects.
Definitely, there are side effects. A lot of side effects. However, that being said, because there are side effects doesn't mean that everybody experiences those side effects. And also, the medications are becoming much better now. So most ladies will go for the patches. So the patches have been shown to have lesser side effects compared to the oral tablets. Some women, they target the treatment. So some women will say, okay, I can cope with the emotional struggle. I can maybe focus on lifestyle changes, exercise, eat well, eat healthy, I won't smoke, I will stop taking alcohol. Maybe the main concern is down below, the dryness, the pain during sex. Of course, you can prescribe estrogen gel. You can also prescribe lubricants, and you find that helpful. So depending on where the focus of the pain is, or the focus of the symptoms is, you can target the treatment. But the patches are the ones that most women go for. Because it's twice a week, apply one plant. On Monday, take it off, apply another one on Friday. So twice a week, and they find it very beneficial, and the side effect profile is less compared to the other ones. We're done with the two developers. Let's just go. So, I've talked about tired all the time, fatigue, diabetes, and menopause.
Sorry, sir.
Track infection, what do you think could be like the solution? Does it always have to be antibiotics, or there are other better ways of managing that?
So for urinary infections, when someone when someone comes with symptoms that are suggestive of urinary infection, the first thing we do is test the urine sample. We check. If it is suggestive of urinary infection, most times, or we always send the urine sample to the lab. Let the results so that there is truly a urinary infection. If it comes back and it says there are some bugs that are identified, and these bugs are the ones causing the infection, I think it's just logical to treat. Sometimes people present with symptoms that are suggestive and not necessarily have urinary infection. What we often tell patients is, number one, there's a juice, cranberry juice. We encourage people to drink that every now and again. For some reason, that has been shown to help limit the frequency of urinary infection. And number two, of course, during the menopausal stage, like I said, I mentioned shrinking. The structures, the bladder, everything shrinks. And as it shrinks, the size reduces. So the urine doesn't stay there for long. Or if it stays there, the chances of infection to set in is very, very high, because the reduction in estrogen also causes some changes in the urethra. So all these factors encourage bacteria to thrive. So that's why water intake is still very, very, very important. Why? Because it helps to flush, as it were, to flush things out.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pilot. I probably wanted to add a few points to your answer for the urinary tract infection. I also struggled with that. I mean, I lost count at some point, and I was given a few tips. Number one is cranberry with urination. Number two, plenty water. Another thing that works for me is to, after sex, clean. It's very, very important. It was bad that I was placed on prophylaxis antibiotics. And as soon as I had that, obviously prayers, I had breakthrough. There is no, in a month I can have 3 UTI episode. It was that bad. At some point they were thinking maybe because of my HLL was on the lower side, so I was prone to that. You can't actually use the toilet anyhow. So before I use any toilet, I'll put tissue just to round or I really struggled with that, but I had breakthrough, and those are the tips I used, as mentioned.
Thank you very much. That's very, 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 very encouraging. So like I said, common things commonly. Water. You have to drink. You have to drink. You have to drink. I always emphasize it. As in, anytime I see patients, even hypertensive patients, when they come, I'm like, look, I hope you're not drinking coffee. The way we diagnose hypertension, of course, you check. If their blood pressure goes up, of course, it's a common thing when people come to the practice to see their GPs or doctor, their blood pressure goes up. So if it goes up like that, I say, look, just calm down, go home, check your blood pressure. But before they do that, I ask you, do you drink coffee? If you drink, stop. Are you drinking enough water? If you're not drinking up to 1.5 to 2 liters of water, you need to drink. Number 3, how many hours of sleep are you getting? I know a lot of us who are here to hustle. I also hustle. But if you are not at your best, you cannot deliver. I tell people, God is just amazing. You cannot rob Peter to pay Paul. If you keep doing these things consistently, over time, your body will get to a point that tell you that, look, I cannot continue this way. Your body will shut down. For people like me that never used to take holiday before, and this holiday, they don't go holiday, these people, holiday. I mean, this work, I will finish this work. Until one day, I just went for a friend's wedding in England. Spent just two nights. I think, no, 3. I waited for a friend of mine coming from the US. He said, I'm coming from the US, so let's meet up in London. I said, wow. But that weekend, for some reason, I felt well rested. No, something is happening to me here. Something is happening. I knew that something just happened. I was just, I did very well. Time to eat, I order food, sleep. I was like, no. We need to start going on holiday. We need to change the environment. Even if you don't have to travel to the country. Even if somewhere, if it's something you want to drive to, just, even if it's within this and that day, just book one hotel, spend 3 nights, you'll be amazed what it does to the body. So I asked them, it's one of the things I asked, when was the last time we went on vacation? Sorry, I'm not. I said, look, you need to take time off work. The work you are doing will continue. I pray nothing happens to any of us. Amen. The work will continue. The next day they will advertise for that position. If your enemy has not been taken his will, bank will chop that money. Why keep working and you don't pay attention to yourself? It's very, very important. Thank God we don't smoke. I tell people that smoke. They're smoking. Stop. They're drinking alcohol. Doctor, is that funny? Doctor, I'm traveling to, hang out with my friend this weekend. What do you think? I'm just, thinking of just having some drinks. No. You look on their faces. I would say no, but the guideline says you should drink less than 40. But according to my own personal guideline, don't do that. Yeah. So all these things, they tell. People can, like I said, that young guy in his early 40s, his own, I was blown away. But I know him very well. I said, doctor, I get diabetes. I said, really? I was blown away. So it doesn't show on my face. You may think that I'm fine, everything is okay. All you need to do is just get tested. Please, my brethren, I know I still have many things to talk about, but I think exercise, as couples, This is very important. You don't have to register in a gym. If you are skipping rope, do that in the sitting room. Do that in your backyard. It's as simple as that. I know some of us, it's until we register with gym. Thank God my wife is not here. Don't tell her. Is it bad time? You gave them free money for 1 year. I did that. They're not donating. Donating 50 pounds. Donate this money to my life and see what will happen. So I'm not saying you cannot register in a gym. You have to be intentional. You have to be intentional. For men, if it's push-ups you want to do that, I started doing push-ups. And let's think as if you like to do something. It's very important. It's very important. Lastly, diet. Let's go to the diet side. Sorry, everybody. I'm not saying you cannot eat swallow or eat salad. Personally, what I do, there was a movie I watched, I think I've shared that with you in Hong Kong. There was a movie called Game Changers on Netflix. It's a documentary. So what they did was, the firefighters in the United States, a lot of them died of heart attack. They were like, what's going on here? So they now checked their cholesterol level. Their cholesterol level was off the roof. Crazy. So then I said, okay, we're going to do something now, we're going to change your diet. They converted all of them to vegetarian. And about 6 months later, they not check their cholesterol level. You know, the German, when I came to the UK, one of my colleagues said, I was eating leaves, carrots, this one. I was like, what kind of food is this one? I think there was this kind of food that was not really bushmeat. No. But then I tried something after watching that movie. I said, okay, let's look at the chocolate now. Because every night, I hate it. Go to Asa, write it down, 1 pound, 50 grams vegetable, sprinkle some nice things, green my plantain, chop it, drink water. And I noticed that with that, anytime I wake up in the morning, I always feel more refreshed and energized. Exactly, you feel like, okay, something so is there. Yes, I eat small size, and half vegetables. Very important. So our women, please speak to the men. Just help them and be packaging some vegetables. And men, please make sure your credit card, you are giving it to the women so that they can swipe it. You'll be amazed that until you do these things, you won't know that it actually works. Somebody said, why do we use Oscar? Energy. Oscar. The os. What does the os feed on? It's not glass. It's glass. So, most of the things I say, I practice. Coffee, yes, I drink coffee. What do I do? 1/4 of a teaspoon. Just 1/4. Bam. Just to open my eye. Once my eyes are shining, I put the rest away. That's what I did it for. Especially when I do a night shift.
I take coffee.
So, please,
But not the time.
I just want to encourage us with these few words of mine. God has given us everything we need. They are naturally available. Water is free. Exercise is free. Vegetables, they are cheap. Sleep is free. Please. If you are having problems sleeping, maybe because the money is too much, let me know. I can help you to spend the money. So please, these are just a few things I just want to talk about today. Please, our lifestyle, let's not ignore it. It's very important. I know we are praying, we are fasting, trusting God for so many things, but let's pay attention to our health. Let's pay attention to our health. And I pray that God will help us in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you very much.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Come on, let's celebrate the Lord in the light of Jesus.
What time is okay.
Some of these things I've heard, I've seen, but you know the way you put it, is just hitting the right notes. And I want to believe for many of us that are here, health is very important. And by the grace of God, I want to believe that a lot of us are
350.
either over 40,
Okay.
some
Yeah, just to
over
be
50,
sure.
some are pushing 50,
350.
some are pushing 40. It's never too late or too early to start working on business. I have seen people older than me, grey hair. In fact, when I was driving down, I saw a man jogging in this weather. And I'm thinking to myself, what is wrong with you? You know, the road is icy, everything. On our streets, there was this woman, I just looking at her alone, I can tell you, she's over 50. I have to avoid, like, I have to give her plenty room, and she gave me away. And I have a colleague at work, like you rightly said, sir. I've never seen that guy eating anything. I told my wife, this man is over 50, and if you see him, Finnish man, is as flat and as fit as anything. And I said, I want to be like you. I struggled with those leaves when I first came, but I'm now loving the leaves. You know? So, I am not that, because I thought to myself, but anyway, any questions for Doc? I know we have questions for you. If you don't have any questions, but the only thing I would ask, sir, is if it is okay with you, sir, can you maybe share the slides with us? So that in our own time, at our own convenience, we can go over it. And please, let's take our health importantly. Above all, holiday. You know, holiday is key. You don't have to spend too much. Some people are going to Madagascar, some are going to Japan, some are going to Argentina. If you can only go from here, like Dr. Vasiki said, to Dundee, there are things you can do in Dundee. Just change scenery, change environment, just cool, calm yourself down. I notice every time I go on holidays, I'm always better when I come back. Yes. My wife gets the best of me. Then she can. Praise the Lord. Let us be honest. Fatigue is a big thing. Because if a man is tired, we all know what's happening. Nothing will happen. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. My question is on the estrogen aspect of menopause. Because some of us are, I think we're experiencing menopause now. So is it possible to source something outside of medication? Because for me, I don't think any of these hormonal things will ever work for me. Most of the things that we prescribe, my own will be outside of medication. I am always anemic, and they told me they can't help me. I have to source it from natural food. They don't give me any iron thing. They just tell me, and they tell me to go and source. Yeah, I should increase my intake of things that will help me to get iron. So I don't know why that is. It can't make sense. So, and I've noticed too, contraceptives and all that, they work another way for me, so I don't bother. So cannot source such things, estrogen particularly, naturally, in a natural way? How can you source that rather wanting anything hormone?
Okay, thank you very much for that. I find it strange that they wouldn't prescribe iron tablets to me. That's not right. That's a bit strange. That's a bit strange. We'll talk later. So, for the estrogen aspect, in terms of sourcing it naturally, I can't really say specifically yes, because estrogens are gotten from humans, or the ones that we make into medications are, like they use pig extracts or animal, it's really from animals, and they did some modifications to them to make it less harmful to humans. I know some people, there's this thing they call black kush or something, that some other natural remedies that some people use, but I don't know in terms of effectiveness, I don't know how effective they are. And some patients that want to go on the hormonal side of things. Like I said, menopause presents with so many symptoms. And what patients do is they tend to focus more on the one that bothers them the most. I've seen patients that choose to go on, this is not, it's still medication anyway, it's called, not SSRIs, it's medication that we use for depression. Sertraline, escitalopram, and they said that works for them. There are some also, there's a medication called clonidine, which is also one of the medications that patients choose to go on because they don't want to go anymore. And they found it quite good as well. So sometimes it can be a trial and error, so you get what works for you. And some patients should also adjust the dose of the estrogen. So most times we start low dose and then gradually build up, depending on how the patient responds. But in terms of natural, that's where lifestyle comes in as well. Like, in fact, just yesterday, a patient 52, having menopause, she is thinking about the hormonal route. And what made her start thinking about that was that she's been exercising, she's been, eating healthy, she's working on her sleep, she's working on her diet. That helps, but she's gotten to the time that I think she's having what we call brain fog. She's struggling with her memory. Sometimes she's at work, she can't just all of a sudden like her memory, like mental blockage. So that's what can read as a call. That I think I've gotten to that point where I need to go on medication. So in terms of natural, still on the natural side, I can't really say 100% if there is any natural remedies that people use and that have been helpful. But I know people try a lot of things, read a lot of things online. But according to, we use NICE guidelines, which is the UK guideline for most disease conditions. In terms of natural remedies, not that good. They mentioned that black, I know in China they have a lot of traditional remedies that they use and work for them. The reason why it is not incorporated in the UK is there is no evidence from the UK side of things backing those kind of medications or backing those kind of natural remedies. So things online that quite a lot to try. But I've heard patients say that they buy some of these things online and they use them and it works for them. So they say that since it works for you, go ahead. Thank you.
Any other questions? Pastor Charles, you have your hand up. All answered. Yes, thank you very much, sir. I know where we all come from. Some of us we drank what is known as Abu. And we are still drinking it. I love it too. I hated it to start with, but I'm now seeing the benefit of it. Yeah, I don't have now. I don't have, but if I see Abu, we share everything, I will take it. Yeah. So let us thank our first speaker. Let's give him a round of applause. Let's celebrate him. I know we have to rush through all the things he had. Do we call him back next year?
Yes, he's got a ticket.
He's got a ticket. My pastor said you have a ticket to come back next year. Because you rush everything.
With his wife. Yes.
This time with your wife. Yes, by God's grace. We thank God. So moving on. Thank you very much, sir. We are very grateful.
Thank you very much.
I hope I are not meeting here because. Okay. So yes, on to the next item on the program. Food is ready. Who is hungry? Let's not be shy now. We are free here. In my father's house, there are many mansions. So let's have something to eat. So please, in the order of this table here, Pastor, you be the best partaker. Pastor, you all can go, your table goes first. Pastor Josh, can join you please. This is meant to be your table, so you join them please. And Sister Kate, you are ready for the door. So the next table that we go is the table with Sister Banker, and then this table will rule us. Please, let's be snappy about it. We are eating into our time. We had initially 40 minutes for lunch, but by the look of things, we only have. Salsa is at the beginning. So to start from the beginning, just let all the plates are. Please, let's make it snappy. Sister Banker's table, please, let's join, please. Sister Banker's table, let's join.
Doc, right, they must stop. I'm going to stop one. I will continue to see other parts. This will be live. I will stop one of the first section. I will stop it. I will restart it again.
God is your strength.
Amen. They like breaking it, but she captured it.
It was really fine. I don't know what looks different here. I don't know. The background is fine. We know that the hall is not fantastic.
It's the background though.
The hall is not fantastic anymore. But honestly, but technically one way I was like, wow. I wonder how it's going to show online. It's really so bright.
This is live. This is live for that one.
Imagine, it's so lovely, to be honest. The pictures are so bright. Is it that the environment had the...
Environment, camera. Camera is another thing.
But should be camera can look on it?
No, the camera meji mo nlo. But mo nlo different laptop.
Honestly, so... I was even looking at it, this is really...
No, very nice. This is live.
This is the kind of quality that's in Durban Bible study level. It's even brighter than everyone pictures, to be honest. But I know, of course, the background is really helpful.
It's camera.
So, there's a shame.
It's the background.
The hall is not fantastic anymore. But honestly, but technically one way I was like, wow, I wonder how it's going to show online. It's really...
But because of our time, please, as you are approaching the first main course, see there, please, and let us eat.
I know what's coming. Just a minute.